क्या हाल चाल आप सभी लोग का स्वागत है हमारी इस लाइव स्ट्रीम में। तो भाई लोग अभी हम ईडब्ल्यूसी का मैच देखेंगे भाई। हम काफी लेट हो चुके हैं आज।
Consistent for too long, and no fear came in clutch with that 1 versus 2.
He really did, and he continued to come in clutch for a lot of the game. Actually, he was a big part of the team this game.
Yeah, I just think he just made a big play. I mean, what can you do against that? When no fear comes up and clutches it up. I mean, Aura fans are screaming these guys' names at the top of their lungs, and to be able to clutch it up like that is just huge. So yeah, unfortunate for Four Thrives, huge for No Fear.
Another team that has been performing quite well today when we talk about eliminations has been none other than Nongshim Lace. This was the biggest feedback that we gave this squad during groups and also survival, and they're finally starting to put up those eliminations. As you can see, Nongshim Red Force right now with 9.
Yeah, absolutely, 7. I mean, they're finding important fights on their rotation to solidify that position, especially on that northern side. They were able to sort of catch Furia off guard, and now I do want to kind of segue into Furia and to why I need to highlight this. But one of our most aggressive playstyle teams is prioritizing the rotate on Rondo. We actually saw them grab utility, move into zone, and Max actually made a good point about this when NGX was sort of on the, I think it was the eastern side next to E Arena. Furia should have just pushed them into it, caused that fight. They would have had control over that whole entire side because they just sort of stopped the revive from Ulf. Then again, on this map, they found themselves in the position, and Nongshim from the northern side just obliterated their defense. This is just unusual for Furia. They are the power play team. They're the ones that get in the goddamn vehicle and shooting out the window and making that decision. It's just unusual.
Damn right, they are supposed to be that aggressive, and they're really not showcasing that in the opposite, like you just mentioned, and I was mentioning too. Nongshim is putting up those eliminations, but something happened at the end of that last game. With the hovercrafts and S2G, that was a little bit sketchy now.
It was a little bit. It was a bit touch and go here, but the momentum they've been able to build with these hovercrafts, they had 2 or 3, and they just went, let's go for it. And it's this replay that I want to talk about here, because look how they're going to play this. In fact, my driving. First of all, yeah. Secondly, look how they take that first hovercraft and they deny the sightlines of Aula, right? They separate them one by one. They can no longer play as a duo. They try and get as many of those sightlines abolished as possible with those hovercrafts. And to be honest, S2G with those hovercrafts have been actually insane. It feels like because they take more damage to explode, and they have it's just a tank, and so they are able to just run with it. They were making crazy rotations from the very beginning of the game. They had those positions on the rocks in the middle of the water, which are normally inaccessible, but having 2 hovercrafts, I wonder if other teams are going to start picking up on that, because that was an insane game from S2G.
I mean, we've seen it happen in the past too, and you just sounded like Max there for a second. I have to double check to make sure it was Michael Natura Jackson or if it was Max, man. But we're looking at the overall ranking here. Nick McGalaxy is currently in first place with those 26 points. Aurora, top. What happened at the top of that bridge? That man ended up falling down, and he actually ended up hurting Aurora with the rotation that they
भाई साहब निगमा गैलेक्सी के पॉइंट देखो तुम।
I mean, that's what it's all about. You know, you're trying to be able to get into that end game and make those plays, and if you're Aurora, you know, 24 points on the board, you can't shake your head at. You know, and S2G being able to get that win, push themselves up to 3rd place. You know, I like what we were talking about there about Nongshim a little bit earlier, right? They
just look at the elements.
Yeah, I mean, look at that, 18 eliminations, and they would have gotten even more if it wasn't for those clutch plays from Vitality right there. Because we saw absolute Hyunbin in action, making some serious plays. But hey, again, super clutch moments here.
We have to talk about some of these other teams that are currently on the second page. I know it is the first day of PMWC at EWC 26 finals. It's only 2 games, but there is some things that we're starting to notice here, especially with Four Thrives, the passionate that you were kind of talking about earlier, Neptura, as well as OG. OG needs to start being a little bit more aggressive and making sure they look a bit more cohesive when you are being aggressive, because they were pushing one by one. It seems like a chicken without its head.
Yeah, it really did, and also they're losing players very, very early on. I think we've had that in both games now, where they're losing at least one or two of their players. Godlike have had a better opportunity to keep their players alive. They've been split up a little bit more. They've been using a little bit more of the zone, but it's just when they actually get down to the fight towards the end game, that's where they start to falter, and that's why we're not seeing those strategies convert into points. So that's what we need to see there.
And India, if I have learned anything about OG, it is they need their third game. So don't count them out yet. I've learned my lesson. Don't you stress. Orangutan in their prioritize just kind of scoping what the rest of the teams are doing, making their game plan. Game 3, 4 is where they set their sights on fire.
Oh, I like that one. Now this is the group of death. Woo! This is the group of death, and this does feel like a finals right now with the way that some of these teams are playing. One man that I know is happy because he ended up picking that team that was in the top 3 here, none other than Team Flash. Maxman is looking to make sure he reverses curse. So let's send it over to Maxman in Calaris.
Well, we're not going to let him do any predictions here. That would be very, very serious indeed. But of course, we take a look at how things have gone so far in these 2 games, and we did.
यार पर अपनी गॉडल जीतना चाहिए यार, मजा आ जाएगा भाई.
I'm a bit confused about said hot drop.
I saw the hot drop that could happen on the map before this event. I'm like, they're not going to go for it because
गॉडल जीतना चाहिए भाई अपनी गॉडल.
Before I was even born, and yet a team is trying to contest it away from them. And as he said, they're going for the hot drop, but they're not fighting and very confused, and they just see the loot truck pass by like, oh my.
Guys, गॉडल जीतना चाहिए. गॉडल है फिर ओजी, दोनों में से एक जन जीतना चाहिए भाई.
I think it's going to be difficult for them to go up against that.
फिर मजा आ जाएगा. एक तो भी मैच जीतना चाहिए 12 में से. अभी 2 मैच हो चुके हैं. देखते क्या होता है अभी आगे.
But just masterful control of the double hovercraft, some crazy plays, and the send out of Kamikaze to be able to make that work. For S2G, that was very, very impressive.
Yeah, it's just a domain expansion double hovercraft. I'm sure you get that reference right there, Calaris. But no, great use of it, especially you saw there in the during a little bit of a replay analysis where they block out the line of sight of one of the players of Alula to really separate them and win the fight off the back of that. When you're near the water, when you have these open-ended finish, hovercrafts are, I'm going to have to say it, they're completely broken, and S2G made full use of it until the very end of that game.
A tough circle though, right? If you think about where Aurora was when it comes to the bridge as well, we're having kind of conversations in the back about this is a military island kind of heavy team, and yet the bridge seems like a conundrum to them that can't solve like a Rubik's Cube.
It was a bit weird, especially because Top was on top of the bridge itself. And I think he goes down,
security guard के साथ
drops to his death at that point, right? And then the team tries to go and back up and hopefully get him back up on his 2 feet. But then Al-Ula were very sneaky, pushing right behind them on the bridge. I think Aurora, they're very experienced.
इंडिया को छोड़ के बाकी सारी टीम मेरे को ऐसा लग रहा है कॉपी पेस्ट किया है भाई. सबके सब सेम टू सेम दिखते हैं गाइस. क्या बोलूं अभी.
Finals. Let's do it. There we go. We'll pick up that throw. Thank you very much, James. There's a good arc on that one. Swift, great elbow on you. You can tell he used to be a drummer, but we'll be beating the drums of absolute anticipation and excitement here, Blank, as our 3rd game of the day is about to get underway.
Yeah, national goals as well as we get into this game, because it is going to be a lot to talk about going so far. I mean, even from watching the desk, to watching the stage hits, to watching the interviews, there's a lot to break down over the last match, and even just the 2 games we've had so far. There's been a lot going on. 4 tries on the first game, and running a little bit of
चलो देखते हैं भाई ये कौन सी टीम है बे.
Looking a lot better, but so many good teams. I'm very confident to say this is about as competitive as it gets in PUBG Mobile right now. I think we have the right teams here with us. We go into our 3rd match of the day as we get towards our halfway point.
भाई बीट काफी खतरनाक बज रही बैकग्राउंड में. ये कौन सा है भाई? इरेंगल लगा है. इरेंगल का मैच, 3रा मैच भाई. अपने बंदे का है. अब अपने बंदे का है.
Like you said before, looked a little bit weakened, right? I mean, even Max picked up on. He was saying that, hey,
दिखे नहीं मेरे को अपने प्लेयर्स.
Should not be going down so early like this. It should be a game that you are a bit more in control of. Wasn't the case here. Tiamba, they go out early. Stand a little bit further down towards the south side of the map on the west.
भाई मैं थोड़ा लैपटॉप पास में ले लेता हूँ यार. पीछे आधा ऐसा एकदम अजीब है.
Start of game 1, but that didn't really translate over. Has meant there was a little bit more fluctuation in the standings. obviously, for Tiamba as well. Far quieter. It was 16 eliminations on their opening game of Rondo. Only 2 added to that count. See, Milu still living his movie, though, in terms of individual plays, as he was popping off on Rondo. It was a big, big piece of the team. I wonder if we'll have something early here from Aura and Aurora. And where's that zone going to go? We've had some wacky zones this LAN. It's been kind of crazy.
Yeah, most circles have just been very strange so far, very odd to play. We had a couple towards the end of survival stage, which I think I was quite grateful for, that were more normalized on Erangel at least, where teams could actually play out their games. Enigma Galaxy versus Ida. No idea why this is happening, by the way. It's actually very strange. I'll explain once it's done. I mean, Kalaris already went over it in the interview, but the context is crazy.
Ida का एक player गया.
Ralph with the M249.
भाई साहब क्या ही मारा भाई, बहुत तगड़ा मारा. जो भी मारा बहुत तगड़ा मारा. 2 player गए ईडा के. ईडा के 2 player चल बसे गाइस. 3 player चल बसे. ईडा खत्म होने वाली गाइस. ऐसा लग रहा है मेरे को. खत्म हो चुकी है गाइस ईडा. भाई बहुत गुस्सा हो चुका है अपनी टीम पे. NGX का भी एक प्लेयर गया. ठीक है, इनके वो ईडा के प्लेयर में ये नहीं है, प्रॉपर कोऑर्डिनेशन नहीं होने में.
Sadly for them, Fourth Rise feels like we can get some easy points off the back of this one. You guys just come off a fight. We know you've come off a fight. This is a great read from Fourth Rise. Actually, look.
NGX Lord भाई गया ये भी. ओपन में घूम रहा है पागल जैसा.
So as much as there was a pop off of them defending their home turf on the hot drop, like you say, Fourth Rise know you're slightly weak. They'll look to get in there, twist the knife, and completely knock them out of the game. Deny any more points on this.
I mean, to be honest.
1080p HD करते guys.
I mean, to be honest. You do wonder.
सही लगना चाहिए.
Fourth Rise boys, they see a big hubbub go over to by the Enigma Galaxy camp, and they're like, they've just won that fight.
We should get involved.
We should fly over. Oh, cheeky work, but you
भाई क्या चल रहा है?
Ralph the M249.
NGX के बंदे के पास ही हो. एक बंदा इसके अंदर है, वो फटेगा लग रहा है मेरे को. ये देखो. नहीं.
Might look to back away from this one, allowing Ralph as well as Satan to live another day. Circle did move up towards the
NGX के टीम वाले के प्लेयर की फटी पड़ी है.
What Ida's doing, man.
2 जने मस्त छुपे पड़े.
Akin to throwing away
Fourth Rise Esports. मेरे को लग रहा है मार देंगे उनको.
Yeah, it feels like one of those where it's kind of cutting your nose off.
ये देखो देख लिया उसने.
Yeah.
As much as, you know, it's your spot too. If it's not working, you got to adapt. Gigantic prize pool on the line. You fought this hard to be in finals.
NGX Satan.
Don't ego challenge
गया
if you
ये.
don't need to.
गया.
But for Fourth
लगने वाली
Rise,
इसकी वार्ड गाइस.
can they find
Guys,
those
NGX
they
का
wanted
एक और एक
off
player
the back of
जाने
this
वाला है.
counterplay? T24
एक,
spotted on the drop.
2.
Let's see if he can go for
क्या
the peak
camping
off
कर रहा है
this. And of course for you, you can get involved with that Naruto event at home.
साला क्या कैंपिंग कर रहा है मेरे जो पता भी नहीं चला उसके सामने ही हो.
T up top. T24, he's got an inkling. Smells him out on this one. Senses his
भाई नीचे बंदा है.
Inside the building, Satan underneath. Ooh, slightly slow on the timing there, and T24
क्या
tries to
फालतू
use the
गिरी कर रहे हैं.
DPS. He's swinging around in circles. Satan's not sure where to look on this. The rest of Fourth Rise
गया NGX. ओ बाप रे मार दिया एक को. अबे यार थर्ड वे. एक को मार दिया था भाई ने.
And it's an easy revive here on T24 inside the building. Church held.
Then get the revive back on T24. But Ralph's just had to stay, man. It's where he's been for so long.
You'd be furious.
Yeah, you'd be fuming.
You win it twice. You win the hot drop twice back to back. It happens again, it costs you your game. And not even because of them.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's the thing, it just comes back to haunt you, right? Here we go, this is the full replay on it, so you get all the action. Oh
Mate, it's carnage from the start. Obviously, we had Coops go down early, and like you say, they pop off to win it. We saw the celebration from Ralph, literally sending a message live in the event.
NGX की टीम की वाट लगा दी थी.
They deserve the drop spot, but Ida don't want to give it up, and it's just really making it uncomfortable for both of those teams to get anything in these games.
It's the best Nick McGuire's
ने ठग दिया guys.
looked in a long time as well. I think that's the saddest thing about it. Now it's happened in finals, and it's happened so frequently in the past as well, where Nick McGuire.
सीन क्या चल रहा है यार? NGX के प्लेयर भाई क्या तगड़े मरे. अबे रिवाइव हो गए.
He's just got to challenge another team for their drop spot.
नहीं रिवाइव नहीं. NS है बे. साला मैं कंफ्यूज हो जाता हूँ. पहली बार देख रहा हूँ ना इसकी.
The entire tournament. Come on, guys.
No fear getting ran down by Aurora, as Top will find him on the move. 4-5s did piece out, going slightly deeper into the zone to do a bit of loot, and obviously wasting a decent amount of time on that as well for the Elim. They were able to garner.
Vitality down towards the southwest, started in Kameshki style, but this time we're seeing him over towards Gatka, but they grabbed themselves the loot.
Vitality कहाँ है बे? Vitality 11वें नंबर पे.
Out from there.
ईडा गई है. बॉर्डल भाई 12 नंबर पे यार है. OG के 0 पॉइंट एलिमिनेशन है. 3 पॉइंट है.
Tiamba tighten it in with E-Arena, Aurora, Godlike.
गलत सीन हो रहा है भाई, गलत सीन हो रहा है.
Salme currently holding down the gas station. Pops up tire. He can't come through here for repairs.
Bullets though. Yeah, only 18 left. One in the clip, 17 in a hole. Let's see if he can turn some bodies cold on this push-up. Top going to drop down back behind the car. So Aurora taking a fair bit of damage. More reserve taps now. Got to find himself some ammo to play with. Switch it out to the Tommy just to keep the pressure on them.
नेट बहुत खराब चल रहा है गाइस. दिमाग खराब हो रहा है. ये देखो गॉडल सोम में भाई सामने दिख रही. वो चलना है यार नेट. सेवन 720p कर लेते. तो यार नेटवर्क क्या गंदा चल रहा है राइट. ये मेरा दिमाग खराब होता है यार इसके लिए. बे यार एक मिनट रुको गाइस. नेटवर्क थोड़ा स्लो चल रहा है.
I mean, but
अबे इसकी माँ का.
Aaron comes in swinging.
फिर देखो जैसा मैंने बंद किया वैसा ही लग गया था.
In Yaz's way, Alula instantly takes up the cliffside. Aurora decides they're going to go Luke Saverni.
इसको अपन 1080p करना भाई. 1080p चलना चाहिए भाई. 1080p.
I mean, to be fair, they had taken quite a fair hit.
गॉडल भाई, गॉडल के सारे प्लेयर गए. एक ही बचा है.
Spent a little bit of ammo. Potentially.
मेरे को क्यों लग रहा है इस बार OG मारने वाली है.
Helmet. Get some resets on that before you get moving.
Tiamba tackling against the Vitality Killer Bees once more. And it's
इसका नाम क्या था मैं भूल गया. बहुत तगड़ा खेलता है. OG की टीम का था वो प्लेयर. बहुत बढ़िया. अपनी इंडिया का प्लेयर ही है. Best player.
Nice start for the first 3 games.
अबे यार नेटवर्क की तो
Maybe keeping it a little bit quiet though. Now playing a little bit of split on this one. They've got Eagle a little bit further forward, perched up over towards Aura. Very much slowing down now at the halfway portion, Jackie. Trying to maintain some of that lead because some teams have struck out in a big way. I mean, Enigma Galaxy absolutely 30 points right now. Aurora at 26. They were able to earn 3 after that last game. On the first, I think they were got 23 on that one. So last game was a bit of a dud.
S2G का एक player knock हो चुका है.
Sends us up over towards Tiamba as well as Aura. So those 2 compounds there are going to be a really big deal. Aura actually has the high ground on this one, the plateau that surrounds them. Very nice to be able to take shots out towards teams as they push on in. Sadly, Alula's much more high ground spot gets pulled off. So you're going to have to move over towards that western side. Yasa pulled away. Well, let's move for 4 Thrives though, Jackie. This is good.
4 Thrives still looking pretty nice in some of the encounters we've seen individually. Another roster we know that can be very explosive. Let's see if they can bring the boom on this one straight up towards the setup from Alula. Quick on top. Got a pump action in the back pocket ready for it if they can close the gap. Bit of Overwatch from R3B on the top side with claws. Fast reactions onto the position of Falag, but the shot's not connecting.
ULA Club और फलक के बीच पाकिस्तान और ULF के बीच लड़ाई. भाई फलक बहुत तगड़ा प्लेयर है, पाकिस्तानी प्लेयर. मिनट रुको यार, एडजस्ट कर रहा हूँ गाइस इसको प्रॉपर. काम करता हूँ. 720
position. They're playing over towards those compounds that sit just a little bit east over towards the lake itself.
वाला
Oh, sorry, the
4 Thrives सी पाकिस्तानी टीम है साला, इनको हराना है. कितने नंबर पे है?
Rocky outcrop on the northern side.
यार बॉर्डर के ऊपर है सब.
On the south here. Tiamba's actually even going to crunch in towards that little bank.
Fine margins between this going wrong for either of these 2 teams in 4 Thrives and Alula. So not wanting to risk it too much. Meanwhile,
OG भाई OG का कितने प्लेयर बचे? 4 प्लेयर है ना भाई OG के. OG लेगा ना इनसे बदला.
Got the heavy weaponry ready to rock them if they stay close by. And luckily they have at least been able to create some space between the 2. Double back over to the bridge where Rolf is stationed.
Yeah, they know OG's in the area as well. See, Aaron struggled versus them earlier on his flying maneuver into the gas station. Tried to go for the movie entrance, but we went straight to credits instead.
क्या खेल रहे बे ये लोग?
Yeah, all hoping to hold them on the bridge side. Next circle, though, I'm feeling the pizza slice here over towards the west. I mean, Aurora currently have a really strong position on it.
Oh, भाई साहब.
But it's like a case of
Orangutan देखो कहाँ है अपनी.
Central spot. They have a lot
Orangutan भाई यहाँ है bridge की इधर.
It is a very, very open area.
भाई बहुत बढ़िया.
There's quite a few radio towers and the square concretes that sit underneath them that end up being like
Gordon का एक ही player बचा है admin.
Down next to them, try and set up vehicles. You can see Vitality already sending over. But this is quite a nice spot for Aurora. It's a tiny bit of hard cover, a little bit of a crescent lit behind them as well.
And that's the last man for Enigma Galaxy, and Ralph trying to stay alive for as long as he can, but finally falls to S2G. S2G possibly being collapsed upon as well by 4 Thrives. They fall next.
Yeah, good fight. Very good fight from 4 Thrives.
जो रो क्यों रहा है भाई? रो रहा है कि क्या कर रहे हो? नहीं रो नहीं रहा, उसके आंख में गुस्सा कचरा गया यार। 1080p में चल जाना भाई यार, क्वालिटी अच्छी आएगी, क्वालिटी अच्छी चाहिए भाई अपने को। 1080p पे चल जाओ ना। हाँ चल गया ना भाई, अब मजा आएगा ना मेरी जान। लैग मत होना बे साला, नेटवर्क की तो बैंड की चुदी भी है।
Create a little bit of a nuisance for them in tops.
NSZ.
It's back and forth blows, but Orangutan still being able to withstand. Comfortable for Nocturne, actually, man. Yeah, that's a nice flick back up towards the Wizard Tower, and it keeps him pinned in position, so he can't provide too much Overwatch.
He's in a bad spot now. I mean, no position to help the rest of his team. It's a cool side swipe coming through from tops as well. Caused so many problems on the back line there for Nongshim Red Bull.
इसकी मां का साला 720p भी ऑटो करो।
Just weren't quite quick enough. He's going to have an even deeper look into this one. He wants to get up close and personal.
That one position, this gas station.
अबे गलती से 112 पे कॉल लग गया मेरा, पता है क्या? माँ कसम सच में इमरजेंसी कॉल लग गया गलती से। गया ये भी। ओरेंगुटैन ने मारा क्या बे?
Yeah, Aurora in a really good spot now.
ये ओजी सामने है भाई, पेट्रोल पंप की इधर। देखते भाई और ओजी क्या करती है अभी इनके साथ।
We just need to not see them go for something silly again. That is all.
AG first number पे।
Yeah, just keep their cards close to their chest and be able to close this one out with some good plays. To be honest, mate, that is kind of the dream with what we saw off the back of this game with the other squads.
अबे OG पे रश हो चुका है लग रहा है, हमला हो चुका है।
Like you say, if they can grab it, they've recovered from that. We can all forget about game 2. Everything looks good for them. They'd actually be on that podium spot in first place come the end of this game. But that's still in the future. Still a lot of other teams that could potentially look to upset them. So we'll stick with the narrative as it develops. This is their position right now. 4 Thrives going in against the arena. Doc looking to decimate some damage out, and he does hit nice. Good shot onto Falak. A little bit more they can do here.
बोला के भाई वो Falak क्या हो गया भाई? गया एक प्लेयर उनका नॉक है शायद 40 का एक प्लेयर नॉक।
That vitality location is going to be a real problem.
बचा देगा पर भाई क्या बॉम्ब फेंक रहे बे बैंड की छी। वे पाकिस्तान पे रश हो चुका है। छी 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 4 ट्राइब्स गई वे छी वे छी छी। बहुत गंदा प्रैंक हुआ उनके साथ। तो गॉर्डन तो पहले चले गए यार, बहुत बुरा लग रहा है।
Drop the smoke, try and stay alive. Issue is you're now in a position where other teams can take shots onto you for free.
Yeah. Good. I mean, Doc is holding on. He is holding on.
क्या अब स्कोप हल ही नहीं रहा भाई का। मैं करता हूँ भाई ऐसा ऊपर चल जाता है स्कोप।
For the rest of the day, and I will keep you lads safe. It's a good shot over towards Science. The rest of Fury, you need to re-angle over towards it, but it takes a gun away from that western side. But Aurora had to do that. They had to push over towards 4 Thrives. They knew that it's not likely in the near future they're going to be getting many more death crates, and they need that util. They need that ammo to carry on inside of this match. Tiamba though looming off in the wings.
Had to restock and get themselves ready for what's yet to come. Tiamba, they've been doing a pretty effective job of harassing a lot of our other squads from distance as well throughout the past couple minutes, keeping pressure on them. Playing a little bit safer here in their setup. Window peek with good eye line onto some of the other teams. Scarface on the long wrap around back up the coastal ridge over towards the bridge side. Going to be coming in from the back near Vitality and Flash. This is his angle.
Vitality.
Ooh, spotted out. Starting to lose his HP bit by bit. Got to drop down to the deck and hope that he can hold on.
I'm not even sure how he's lived this long. I mean, Tops has got to know someone's mover here, the pitter-patter of the footfall. Bows at distance. Scarface is instead just going to go for the heel. Tops pulls the pin.
तेईस बंदे बचे इतने से जोन में इंडिया का कोई है क्या नहीं बे साला हट बे ईडा है ओजी और फिर गॉडेल है हट बे बहुत खतरनाक सीन है
Top though is the one to refrag over towards that. Tiamba aching moving forward. Gets behind that radio tower. This is a good spot to aggress over towards Aurora on. But more importantly, hold out on the southeast side. Good nades again, goodness me. Aurora's having none of it.
You feel the base on that one. More coming as well. Airburst over the
भाई ये क्या सीन हो रहा है यार खतरनाक गजब ही सीन हो रहा है बे
fingers hoping the smoke is enough to get the pick up play back on Aching to stay
बहुत गजब सीन हो रहा है भाई
I wonder if they're even going to push this, Jackie.
I mean, with a molly,
गॉडेल और ओजी दोनों गए हैं मजा ही नहीं आ रहा
you know they're weak.
Oh man, I think they just wanted to get the flush at least, but not meant to be. That's a lot of nades invested there for basically nothing. Aking's going to send back one of his own. Now they're fully set up over here on the radio tower. From Molotovs, maybe a bit more damage done. Chip damage from the nades should be good enough. So start to bombard now. They're splitting the difference on these ones. They know they have to go for one side, and it is over to Doc. Survives the first. Blast the shrapnel and should survive the second.
वे मार दिया भैया रिवाइव दे रहा है भाई
him in the face. He takes that peek and shuts one player down once again. 6 nades thrown out for no real follow-up from it. So it goes both ways for either of these two teams. Top with the instant adjustment back over onto E Arena. No, he's being collapsed upon from 2 sides between this team.
Schweppes now. Get the res on of E Arena. E Arena, you know, actually haven't been too bad. I think for the points they currently have, it's 19, but they've been consistently up towards at least the top 8 every game. Vitality still taking more shots here. Tiamba is the one to take down Tops. Tiamba's playing as a 4-man, and genuinely the way they weather the storm here versus Aurora, they have a place to play inside the circle going forward. More about dealing with the couple of players inside of that shack right there, and it's hard to line up those nades past the side. Always have that angle of Doc to worry about. He is so critical to his other 2 teammates living.
Schweppes with a bit of a forward scout play in the buggy, reading onto it. FLEXzZz was knocked towards the backside. Thing is though, they've been here for so long and they've invested so many nades, so many bullets that they're starting to run dry and can't actually push out to get themselves anything. Availability of crates becoming an all-time premium. The longer this goes on, the worse it
मैं 4K में देखूंगा 8K या कैसे भी चले
the worse it gets for Tiamba.
Yeah, they needed a break, honestly, and that break was going to come in to get those shots, get those nades over towards Aurora. The Arena making a
20p network की
Aurora. The Arena making a massive swing. Mormon's got 5 nades.
720 पे भी अभी
To play around with too. FLEXzZz finds shots over towards Vitality. They are trying to stop 2 teams from squeezing them together. This is a good play. This is actually a good play. It's a desperation play, but it's one that's very much needed.
Vitality पे rush.
Now as Aching moves in, raise that glass step alive. Where's the
Vitality ने भी दे दिया उनको. बाप रे बाप ये क्या हो रहा है?
Oh, this is unbelievable. Razak raising hell.
अबे यार.
Amidst the chaos as he stands strong to punish back. Vitality looked like it was all said and done, but they pop off on that one against Tiamba's clash in, knowing they needed to shut them down to get themselves any sort of ammunition, any kind of supplies to play on. And it does not work how they wanted.
Wild stuff. The arena now. Send some nades in. Joel's the first to fall off the back of that. They have just played this game nice and slow from that northern side, trying not to get too involved in things. They've been saving up these nades for that end game. Mormon will move in and just completely cleans them out. This guy's been unbelievable with the S12K today.
Finishes off the stragglers. Slowly but surely, the team's exit stage left, and the final fight begins to happen. Furia coming back in with some of that firepower we'd seen prior. Good damage onto E Arena. It's Tony K that's knocked behind the hard cover. Joker looks to wrap over to see if he can save his mate and put them back into an equal situation. 3 versus 4.
Yeah, damage up. बच गया साला. Oh भाई बढ़िया 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 भाई बढ़िया बढ़िया. एक नंबर.
He wants more on the game, and they are delivering. He goes down, big player on the squad. Now it's time for the likes of Isla as well as Chief to stand up tall. E Arena, they saved all their potential up for that late game, though. We saw how much ammo they still had, more, how many smokes they still had remaining. His team basically played this one out for the chicken dinner. For E Arena, it's sort of not worth it unless they get the chicken dinner on this one.
मेरे को तो लग रहा है मिलेगा चिकन
The
डिनर.
amount they saved up, 5 nades still in the hand of Schweppes.
5 किलो है
Nice though, but yeah, it's this open ground, disgusting to work with. Furia is lining up for a big old bombardment from E Arena in the near future, though.
Does he go down, man? It's kind of so brutal because he really has been this pop-off player for the team. Is that going to be enough of a deficit to really make this one uncomfortable?
चलो अपन कमेंट्री करेंगे. इसी तरह ई अरीना इस शेक की तरह और इस भाई साहब ने नेट डाल दिया है. देखते फटता है कि नहीं फटेगा क्योंकि नेट थोड़ा दूर था. भाई साहब इस साइड आ चुके हैं. फ्यूरिया के प्लेयर. भाई क्या बचा? कहाँ फेंक रहा है नेट? भाई को लोकेशन ठीक से पता नहीं है. देखते क्या होता है. इसी तरह ईए वाले जा रहे रश करने फ्यूरिया वाले पे. देखते हैं भाई क्या होता है. 3v3 है गाइस.
You lose your eyes in the back line and have to rely on your gun skill now.
सब स्मोक वगैरह डाला है. नेड इसने कुक किया भाई ने और इसी तरह थ्रो कर दिया है. देखते हैं फटता कि नहीं. डैमेज पड़ा थोड़ा सा. इसने फेंका. हाँ फेंक रहे हो मैंने. भाई लोगों को लोकेशन ही नहीं पता. लोकेशन ही नहीं पता है उनको.
giving her back the worst information in the world, but I mean for Fury, I think there's a little bit of scaredness of the line being aggressed upon.
भाई साहब ने भी कुक किया.
Schweppes pulls the nade.
फेंका पर काफी दूर है.
We are playing battleships right now. Grenade to E5.
ऊपर में कार लेके जा रहा है भाई.
Just dashing
अबे उसके कार पे फोड़ दिया. बच गया.
He's gone wide, man. Start forest fire out in this field of Erangel right
now. अबे फटा. अबे डैमेज पड़ा.
Okay.
Assist.
भाई इसी तरह फ्यूरिया के प्लेयर को 20 का डैमेज पड़ा है. काफी बढ़िया नीडी. बच गया थोड़े से वरना गाड़ी भी फूट जाती. भाई गया रश देने. भाई सीधा रश. परचू दे गया.
Not how I expected the first domino to fall, but that's Ayala going in and opening things up.
गया भाई. रश देने गया था लेकिन रश खाके आ चुका है. फिर से बॉम्ब फोड़ा फ्यूरिया के प्लेयर ने लेकिन कुछ फायदा नहीं हो रहा है. सांप बन के लेटा हुआ है. सांप बना हुआ है भाई. अब ये भाई साहब ने नेट कुक किया है. देखते क्या होता है. नेट नहीं भाई. आग लगाई थी आग. थोड़ा सा आगे फेंकता तो मर जाता भाई. पूरा 100% चांस से ये अरीना जीतेगी गाइस. गारंटी. ई अरीना जीतने वाले भाई लोग 100% बता रहा हूँ ये फेंका और फटेगा देगा भी 3 2 1 बूम बच गया बे बच गया अबे साला गया अबे
Warning shots out, low on health, got about half left to play with. Runs in towards the tree. He's got the shotty in his hands now. Yeah, all right, it's all kicking off here.
ई अरीना जीत गई भाई
Arena do clutch on.
भाई क्या खतरनाक खेले यार बस नेडिंग थोड़ी सही नहीं की उनने पर बहुत बढ़िया खेले भाई पिछले बार इन लोगों ने एक मैच में 30 पॉइंट निकाले थे भाई तो तगड़ी टीम है
Egos, as he went down, I think he might have thrown out some information that was maybe
इसका फोटो अगर लेंगे शायद क्या पता ये अरीना वालों का
unfortunate stuff. To be fair, whilst he was still alive, they had a
really
good
good
pinpoint of what the arena was doing. So I am joking. It's a joke, guys. I do think Egor's a great player. But yeah, still a weird end game.
Yeah, it was a lot of utility investment with not too much information. Kind of felt like it was, we don't want to push, so we're just going to lob everything. Yeah. And then have that respectful gunfight once we get in your
exactly.
face.
Because I do think that for E-Arena, they just wait a little bit longer, play up towards the tree line. With the amount of nades they had, they could have blanketed the entire thing. But even then, they were like bouncing around the blues. It's a little strange. It was a little strange. And you're right. I also did not expect that to be the first domino to fall, which was just Isla just getting mega impatient.
After all that waiting, yeah, it was kind of.
I know they're behind. I'm just gonna go for it. All right. Confirmed. That's where they are.
You're
dead, Isla. That's where they are, lads.
Yeah, I got the info.
Okay.
Got the info.
Info game. Sick of playing battleships. But yeah, overall, I think if we look a little bit prior into that game, I think Aurora, the way they set themselves up, not bad, but there was a couple moments where it got real hectic. I think a lot of teams made it far into that end game. Tiamba play out that radio tower really, really well. Even Tiamba, I think Tiamba's decision making does require bringing up a little bit. The fact that they decided to push over towards Vitality in that moment, the play almost works, but the speed at which they do it, like we're getting crunched right now, we have to just fly over towards this team and take them out. They have no qualms about just fully going for it. I really like that, and I think that that's the type of playstyle that's going to win you games more often than it loses them.
No, absolutely. I think, again, that was one where it was like Razak just kind of popped off on the hold.
Yes.
It was, honestly, it was better play from him than it was bad play from them. He just popped off on a solo mission where it's like, oh, fair play. You've actually kind of owned us there.
Yeah.
But what the play was meant to do was great. They needed ammo, they needed supplies, and they went for it. So
absolutely.
It was a head-on call.
It was the right thing to do. And the right thing for us to do right now is to go for a little moment with the boys over on the stage. And we'll be back real soon.
Powers here at PMWC 26, joined by John Allen, Kalaris, and Neptura, and we're playing a round of Hot Drop Darts.
Ooh, we're going to be getting stuck into the board, hopefully. Maybe not for some. Some are having a bit of trouble during practice, but we're going to be taking some shots at the board. The person with the least score is going to have to give their hot take. So let's jump into it. You guys, I think you two have to go first.
I think we get Nep up there first. Let's get Nep's in a prime position for this. I feel like I'm in the danger zone. But let's see.
Get ready to dodge.
Oh,
that's
one. Yeah, that's it's on the board.
Thank you very much.
Shuffle up.
Thursday.
And Kalaris up to the flag. Oh, okay. Okay, all right.
Okay. This is good. This is good.
भाई ने बीच में मार दिया था तू.
Shuffle in.
Thank you. Don't hit me, please. Oh, it's a 17. Currently, Nep's in last with 6.
No way. Oh, a double 17.
It's a triple 17.
It's a triple one, I don't know.
That means Neptura is last.
Are you serious?
Yep. What's your hot take, Neptura?
My hot take is that the Uzi is a bad weapon and shouldn't be played. That's it. Wait.
This one was Neptura.
That one was mine.
In the bullseye.
No, it's in 25.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's you.
Well, she's already done a hot take now, so.
You did that on purpose.
No, I didn't do anything. All right, here, go on.
John starting us off. Let's see. Oh, hey. It's
Not
in.
bad.
That's all that matters, really.
It's on the board.
Here we go.
I haven't missed.
Kalaris now. Forearm strength. It's good. It's good.
Ooh. That could be a treble.
That's nice.
Get out the danger zone. The splash zone's coming for you, Kale.
Good maths.
Whoa.
Oh,
That's a triple.
Okay.
Triple three.
God. All right, here you go, mate. Take this.
I'm pretty sure it's currently the lowest. Wait, no, it's not.
I'm
John's
on a
the
5.
lowest. Yes, John's the lowest.
Or is that a 2? It's a 5, I think.
It's a 5.
Oh, and that's a 2.
That is a 2.
I've been saved by the upside down
It's
version
true.
of my own
Jackie,
number.
it's your turn.
There you go.
Okay. Hot take. Dino Park and Vikendi, infinitely better than Ronda. I miss it. Bring it back.
Oh, okay.
All right, considering I actually lost the first
क्या
round.
चालू है बे इन लोगों का क्या सीन चालू है
I cheated you out.
जल्दी
I'm so
करोगे
sorry.
चालू मैच
Tiamba will not win PMWC despite looking really good.
I feel like I've got to follow in with a hot take as well.
बेटा अभी
I feel
मैच
like
बचे
over-reliance on ARs,
पहली जज करना मत
nonsense. I
करो
want DMRs in, give the players a little bit more expression in the secondary slot, you know? Those submachine guns, something else, pop
ये
it in.
जज लोग
Give
है
a
ना
little
साला
bit more
पहली
individuality.
जज
That's what I
करने
would
लग
say.
जाते हैं
Don't give me this mic. You know what I want? I want all of your opinions from the viewers at home.
Well,
You in the
देखो
chat.
भाई,
Tell us what you think. Let us know
ऐसे
right here, right now. What are your controversial takes?
साला ऐसा गॉडेल का हो जाए यार मजे आ जाए गॉडेल है फिर ओजी का हुआ तो भी मजा है
If I'm not mistaken, Niftura, I think you actually won at darts. And I think you got that chicken dinner.
I did.
You were lied to, but
Very mad.
in this last game, E-Arena wasn't lied to, Max, because E-Arena came out with the win.
I never know how to react to an E-Arena win now since that Rondo 39-pointer. I'm like, okay, that's great. That's a cool win. But what's next? No, it genuinely was a good game. It was very open-ended finish between Furia and E-Arena. I think it was kind of even-steven until eventually Ayala got a little bit overly aggressive on that push. Then he gave them an advantage and E-Arena using every resource they had available to get that win. Good to see, but again, I need to see that continue in your next coming matches.
Had such a strong
भाई मैं आया एक
hold.
मिनट में यार
Obviously, a little bit of tunnel vision coming out of some of the players there, and then I don't know what the vehicle situation was, and you could hear me screaming in the back. He's like catching nades with the vehicle as well, and I'm like, what plan is this? They had such a strong position after getting like
this one.
Yeah, after moving their way into zone on the rotation on the southern side, Max.
Look,
I'll give you my pack Neptune. I'm really upset.
I know what happened actually. I was talking to Knight. I saw him as we were leaving the talent room and I asked him like, what was the play with Ayala? And he said the idea for Ayala was to get an off. angle on the team and actually catch them from behind, but then he saw two players and he got scared. And that's the thing is, right, lack of information will make you do these kind of mistakes. So it could have been a good idea and catching nades. Didn't work out. It could have been great, but unfortunately, two-player setup was exactly what E-Arena needed in case of those kind of pushes coming their way.
That was just a big, something I like to call what the Furia. WTF, because that's exactly what ended up happening with that one. I've been working on that one all day, especially with the way that they were playing earlier. There was a squad, though, that was able to put up a good amount of eliminations, and it was none other than Aurora. Aurora, once again, Neptura being able to back it up with the limbs, even though they wasted a lot of utility with Tiamba.
They did wait. It was a big old red zone, and it was fairly unnecessary. However, it does get you those points, right? And it's been really nice to see them actually, because I think in the group stage, right, we saw them just doing just enough to get into the top 5, just enough to get to where they wanted to be. Now we're seeing true Aurora here. Now we're seeing the team that we're used to seeing, and I'm really enjoying that. I think they've actually played a lot better, right? They're very even. They're not splitting. Doc's not doing his thing. He's staying with his team, and Rifus, Enzio, we've seen some really cool off angles from them, so very happy with them.
And something that I enjoy seeing there, especially out of that graphic, Max, is Top
Bhai,
being able to bounce back. Remember, earlier in the previous match before this one, Top was on top of the bridge. It didn't end up working out for him, but 4 elims out of him, a person that has been an MVP before on an international finals, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, really happy. I mean, the best way to describe it is what you said, Niptra. They became a red zone at that moment in that game, and I love the way that any team would get in contention of their zone, they would start just nading them to hell and back. So Aurora playing it really well. I am still not sold on their performances so far. I feel like there's still a lack of fragging power that they used to have in the past. Doc is underperforming quite significantly. So Top, GG's, I'm loving it. Zol too had some great moments, especially in that rondo. But Doc, he's still sleeping right now. He needs to wake up.
Wake up, Doc. Wake up. Just make sure you don't start going away from your team, because that's when things ends up falling apart for Aurora. But Aurora, honestly, 36 points, currently tied. But the tiebreaker does go to E-Arena with that win that they ended up getting. Tiamba, though. Tiamba right now, the aggressiveness that we've been seeing out of this team, if you want to give the mic to Lace, they're currently putting up those numbers, Lace, because 27 eliminations for that squad and only 4 placement points.
Yeah, I see that. This is what I'm saying. They're finding those fights.
भाई E-Arena
those
के
eliminations,
36 पॉइंट हो चुके हैं, Aura Gaming के 36,
losing it, which is where we see the
Tian
decline in
बाकी है। भाई
placement
गॉडेल का
points.
तो नाम ही नहीं आ रहा टॉप 5 में।
Obviously,
भाई वाट
this
लग
is
जाएगी।
still a really good trend for them,
भाई
especially
वाट
coming
लग
out of
जाएगी,
survivals into this
समझो
sort of
जरा।
scenario, and to have that amount of points and that sort of trajectory is incredibly good for them. But of course, we got to bring it back to kind of the smash rule and the way that you have to gather these eliminations. It's fine. It's good to do it, obviously, today, but then we got to see more of those placement points and those wins out of them to be able to take more than that.
100%. And another team that's currently doing that, Max, is none other than Nangshem. And I know you weren't quite happy with what Nangshem, especially Human, was doing that last game.
Yeah, initially I love the way they initiate the fight onto, I think it was Orangutan in that gas station. I'm like, okay, you've got some solid off angles, I like it, they're pushing the fight. But the thing is about off angles, they lose effectiveness the longer the fight goes on. And I think it was one of the play on the Harry Potter tower, he had a great line of sight, but eventually Orangutan know you have that line of sight, so they're not going to peek you that aggressively. That would be the prime time for them to regroup, fully commit to the fight and send it, and hopefully come out on top. But they're very slow to respond to these moments, and I'm very upset with their opening performances so far.
Yeah, one team talking about aggressive, talking about people committing to a fight. We saw Nigma Galaxy and Ida finally commit to the hot drop, and if I'm being completely honest, I don't want to see it. I don't care about it. Leave that ego to some other time, because right now it's going to be hurting those two teams.
Yeah, it is, and we did see Fourth Thrive take advantage of what's been going on there, right? Just dropping in on, trying to get a few limbs and then move back to their position. They were trying to punish that as much as possible, just because it's kind of
हम काफी पीछे थे भाई।
Tiamba, the Arena, they're playing very well at the moment. Indeed. But let's break it down into the finer details. I want to ask you a little bit more, okay? So what's the best map to capitalize on points?
I mean, there is different teams with different play styles, so it depends.
Okay. Yeah, that's fair. Okay, it depends, yeah. How about vehicles for late rotations, getting into a good position? What's the best vehicle to use?
The horse, the buggy.
It's a buggy.
So different maps, so it depends.
It depends.
Yeah, as well. Yeah.
Okay, sure. Utility, okay, so like
दोनों इसमें भाई ने
you know,
depends.
smokes, nades, you know, medical packs, bandages. What's the best
It
to
depends.
have in your arsenal?
I mean, depending your situation with the cycle, so I will answer. It depends.
It depends.
Yeah.
Okay, Luti.
It's not that
It
easy.
depends, man.
What's the best gun in the game?
I mean,
Let me guess. It depends. Sacre bleu.
No, Barney.
साला
Everyone knows it's a P90. No, depends. Okay, back to you, Caster.
पर भाई की बात सही है भाई, डिपेंड करता है भाई सिचुएशन के हिसाब से.
Yeah, he's right. The V90 is where it's at, but we are here live in the finals, getting ready for the last 3 matches.
Absolutely, we have got
भाई का आवाज कितना खतरनाक है बे.
unfolding before us. We've had some real
Absolutely, we are here. Absolutely, we are here to cut it. ऐसा आवाज है भाई का, एकदम भरा हुआ.
Double roll up. That was looking pretty, but we're going to be
ये
sending
पाकिस्तान
ourselves
का
once
प्लेयर है,
again
गारंटी.
over to Erangel
देख
to
के
find
समझ जाते हैं
ourselves
भाई.
one more chicken dinner.
Let's see who's gonna get it. Yeah, I mean, this is it, the last Erangel of the day, and it's time to put up some serious points. I mean, we're still super early in this tournament, but we're already starting to see some teams, right, make some things happen. I was able to talk to one player in particular as we were getting into this game. I happened to see S-Power from Godlike. You know, the hair is hard to miss. I went up to the man and said, hey, you know what, give me 3 words before we get into this next match. And he said, the domination begins.
Ooh, using a whole word on the. That is bold. That's the sort of confidence that you want to see coming through. For Godlike, they do want to try and push a little bit further up those tables, try and get in the competition for those top spots. Of course, having only seen 3 matches, we are still in a fairly uncertain situation, in a state of flux when it comes to those tables. Obviously, some performances standing out more than others, but it's definitely still achievable because of the fact that we have got an 18 match set.
ऐसे लगता है भाई टॉपर बच्चा है.
On 12 match sets.
चाइनीज प्लेयर को देख के भाई ये अपने एडमिनो भाई
है. To that expanded 3-day approach, that 18 set. That's where consistency really comes into play. So it's teams that are able to earn 6, 7, 8 points on those games that are going to be the teams that will take those top spots, those podium positions.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's all about putting up as many points as you can early on, and consistency is going to be the king here at the end of the day. I mean, we saw in the group stage, right?
साला फोन की चार्जिंग कम हो गई थी मेरी.
In one single game, and they weren't even able to make it. I mean, straight to the finals. They had to deal with the survival stage, and let's be honest, I mean, luckily we're able to get here, right? So, I mean, but they're crushing it now. They did a great job in that last game, right? And so they're off to a strong start. Let's just see if they're able to keep that pedal.
एक काम करता हूँ भाई, मैं चार्जिंग लगा के आ रहा हूँ मेरा फोन.
It's really good because historically they've always taken a long time, right, to really get warmed up. But for them to put some points on the board early just goes to show that come finals time, they're adjusting their strategies and it's working out for them.
Maybe able to finally claim a title spot, you know, that's what they're going to be looking for. Plenty of other teams looking to do so as well. I know there's plenty of fans in the crowd for Furia, who are there, really giving them their backing, which has been nice to see. Hopefully they can keep up the pace towards the top side as well. But yeah, I mean, there is so much on the line. That trophy, a threat to so many, but a promise to only one of our teams.
Man, one of the sickest trophies you could put on your shelf. I love every single year I see it. I'm like, oh, you gotta get one. And this is what these teams have been hunting for. They've been working all year long to get here. And we can tell the teams that have prepped, and it's every single one of them. It's wild to see all these names, and the level of competition has never been so even, in my opinion, right? I mean, there is squads all across the board. They get a good couple zones, good couple situations. They're not messing around. They're going to take full advantage of it. You talked about Furia, right? I think it's only a matter of time before we see them get a chicken dinner. We got to see some keys a little earlier. We saw that Team Vitality key, Tianba, 2 monster squads as well. So it's just really about that consistently, like you talked about. But you know what? We're in the final Erangel of the day, John. One thing that stands out to me, without a shadow of doubt, is Pachinki, right? What is going on there? That last game has to mean that something's got to switch up, right?
It has to. Something definitely has to change. For me, I feel like Enigma Galaxy, they kind of, well, certainly we know how consistently Ralph will just sacrifice.
We know how
to hold
consistently.
I'm just unsure as to why Ida made the decision to stick to that drop spot. There are obviously other opportunities, and it's sort of, it reads ego to me. It reads ego that they aren't disengaging. I liked Fourth Ride's adjustment. They were able to get in. They were able to get, I think, 2 eliminations right at the start of the match. Really, really nice stuff from that very peer position that they normally drop around. They were able to move on up. They exploited that situation. But I think that the second good decision that Fourth Ride's made in that scenario was not to hunt down Ralph, right? Because he's a solo. He's hiding in a corner. You don't know exactly where he is. You disengage. You don't go hunting, because a solo in a corner in Pachinki, you could lose a player to that very, very easily. So I liked their withdrawal there coming on through. The other side of a hot drop in Pachinki that is a massive factor, certainly for later into the mid and later game, is the fact that in a hot drop, you don't get that loot truck, and you can't get it double either, which means that it went over to Vitality during that last match. It goes over to other teams who just sit on that northwest side. It's also an incredibly clear indicator that a hot drop is happening to a team out there, so they can grab that one and send on in to maybe pick up the pieces.
Yeah, let's take a look at some of the highlights here before we get started, as these teams are going to get locked and loaded here in just a second here, folks. But yeah, you know, when we go back to that hot drop, it's wild to see. I've been kind of watching these two teams talk to each other all along here in Paris. And I'd see, you know, Enigma Galaxy players walk by Ida players and kind of have some exchanging of words. And I was hoping they would kind of get this settled before the finals, because I think it's just a devastating loss for this to continue here for both of them. And in the last
ये वाला सीन काफी बाप रे बाप 1v2 क्या खतरनाक किया बे.
They came to party right after. They were like, oh, you know what? There's a
बहुत बढ़िया मारा था भाई. ये लेग चक्कू से साला टियान बागे प्लेयर ने मारा था भाई. बहुत बढ़िया मारा.
Especially now on
अन्ने ठग दिया इधर.
the hunt for this, it's got to make, you know, I don't know Ralph's true name. It's Ralph Pachinki Sanchez Montero III. Okay. Pachinki is in the name, all right? And he will refuse to let it go. And I mean, they've dominated it, right? We saw them be able to take out Ida, but now that you have Four Thrives coming into play, it's got to make you second guess things.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that dropping in Pachinki is in Ralph's will somewhere.
Yeah.
For when he eventually, hopefully, in the very far future. But if he keeps dropping in Pachinki in-game, he's certainly not going to have a long life expectancy. Aurora Gaming able to do the business, but we are going to head to a quick video whilst we get this lobby ready to rock for our last Pachinki today.
프로 선수로서 경쟁하는 일은 항상 힘든 일입니다. 하지만 이런 플레이 라운지에 오게 되면 즐거운 게 되게 많죠. 저희가 이 플레이 라운지에 왔기 때문에 이 플레이 라운지에 있는 것들을 즐겨보겠습니다. 가시죠. 이 공간은 협력 공간입니다. 대회측과 소통하거나 협력해야 될 일이 있으면 이곳에서 해결하실 수 있습니다. EWC 공간에 있는 한 공간 중인 탁구장이 있는데 저희가 한번 재밌게 해보도록 하겠습니다. 오! 연습반이네 완전. 어이씨 뭐야? 여기는 여러 가지 즐길 것이 있는데요. 저희가 한번 다 체험해 보도록 하겠습니다.
आगे देखो ना कितनी छोटी है भाई की.
대회를 할 때면 항상 배고플 때가 있는데 PWC에서 제공해주는 음식이 있는데 그 품질이 아주 좋고 최고급이라고 해서 저희가 한번 먹으러 와봤습니다. 아 배고프다 빨리 가자.
Welcome back to the Hot Drop Watch here as we await the fate of Pachinki. It is still undetermined as to who is going to last the longest in that location, and if we may have a fourth, a fifth, or maybe even more teams. Perhaps everybody is going to Pachinki. It's going to be a 64-player brawl in the center of the map.
Team Vitality का
You know
player.
what? Oh man, I want to see that action. That would be absolutely insane. I mean, if it was going to be possible, now would be the time because it's the last one of the day. But you know what?
चालू हो गया कौन सा मैप
It's
है?
time to see what
Erangel.
exactly is going to happen as we get into the map. Final Erangel of day 1 of the finals. Now let's see who's going to be able to put some serious points on the board before we get into the sandy deserts of Miramar.
I mean, I'll take non-serious points at this stage. Of course, every single team would as well. Plane path on the west side of the mainland here, coming through from North George to the
भाई
west
लोग तो
point
उतर
of
भी
the
गए
military base.
सेवर नहीं जा रहे
We'll
शायद.
be going fairly close to Pachinki, so we're not going to be denied it by the plane path. Hora out early
Hora
over towards
जा रही है
Saferni.
सेवर की.
Scamber over into North George. I'm keeping an eye out to see if any of our teams on the hot drop are going somewhere else, but I'm really not holding my breath.
I kind of am here.
Oh.
You know what? I will say, yeah, you can see already here. Look at that. Looks like we're going to see another hot drop in Pachinki as Ida and Enigma Galaxy are headed in that direction.
Uh-oh.
Very, very interesting. I will say, though, we got to give massive props to Enigma Galaxy for being so high up on the leaderboards, considering that they've been dealing with this all day long here. I mean, they're in fourth place, 30 points. That's pretty insane.
Sure, I mean, they were able to take a chicken dinner towards the start of the day, right? So they do have a little bit of a foundation to try and do this with, but they could be so much further ahead without this situation. It looks like we're not going to see a fourth Thrives flex out. Instead, S2G are the closest by on the southwest side. Nongshim Red Force, who have yet to touch the floor of their parachute, could potentially also flex in from the southeast side, but I feel like S2G are the most likely right now to cause problems for Ida. Enigma Galaxy on the north side of Pachinki, they're split right now, but you can see Rita on that off angle could be quite important. Seems like they know he's in this building, but the nade won't connect.
Yeah, that was a warning nade for sure. You can see Satan up on the roof here, or on this ledge, trying to get a little bit of information. He knows exactly where Rita is. It's a big stalemate, though. This is the hard part about these hot drops, and I can hear it. That loot truck is now driving on by. The precious loot. Satan's like, that should have been ours. I want it. No. Oh, Lord gets knocked. Thirsted? No, he actually gets beat up pretty bad. Satan, through the door.
भाई साहब क्या ही तो नॉक बे क्या ही तो नॉक मजा आ गया गाइस मजा आ गया
back to this one. It's across the road, and I don't think you can break past that. The res, though, in the meantime, is going to be there, and because it's so early in the game, it's so much less likely that you've got the nades on side to just completely suppress that res position, which allows Enigma Galaxy to go back to 4 and leaves Ida stranded on 3. Rita getting knocked there is the most crucial part of that fight.
That was an insane shot there from Satan. I mean, that's that game sense, guys. Shooting right through the door. He knew he was there, and he makes the play for his team. It's one of those micro plays, right? That when you make that kind of play, it just changes the entire situation for your squad. And now, because of that, Enigma Galaxy up ahead against Ida.
They still have to get a little bit more pace to it, though. And Ida are retreating now right to the southeast point of Pachinki. They've read that immediately Satan can move out, get this position on the off angle that they were previously in control of. The fact that they're aware of that is good, but you're just going to keep losing players. At this stage, I feel like Enigma Galaxy definitely have had a better result so far in this Pachinki hot drop. They were very ready for it. As you said, they will have known, they will have been aware that this is unfurled.
Yeah, and what are you going to do if you're Ida at this point? I mean, look where they're at on the leaderboards. I mean, this is crazy. 16th place, only 2 points so far. If I'm their coach, anybody that is in the leadership of this team, I'm like, give it up, guys. We lost. I mean, I get it, right? Day 1, you're going to battle it out with Enigma Galaxy to see if you could conquer this location, but it's an L. Like, you got to at some point realize that this is not going to work for us. If we want to be able to do well in this tournament, I mean, Erangel is the majority of the maps we're going to be playing here. We can't afford to continue doing this.
It is pretty devastating. They have only lost 1 player this time around, but the loot is going to be fairly thin on the ground. The vehicle condition, like, I don't know, man. It's really cutting the legs out from underneath themselves.
It's terrible. I mean, you're down a player. You don't get the loot truck. You don't get any. You're under looted at this point. I mean, it's just a loss overall. And where they stand on the leaderboards is a pure reflection of that. So, yeah, you know, I always say that when it comes to these kind of hot drops or these situations in general, I really do think these need to be settled in rehearsals. You know, in the pre-matches where it's like, hey, you know what, guys? Have a little handshake agreement. We're going to drop a Pachinki this game. Whoever wins it gets it, you know?
Fair enough. Yeah, well, I don't think that would ever happen. But yeah, I mean, I kind of understand. It is a question, right, that is rooted in a lot more, I think, subjective opinion for a lot of people.
Sure.
Because you have that question of, if we give up our drop spot, are we just going to be easily pushed around in the future, right? Like, are you trying to do that sort of thing? I mean, it's like negotiating contracts, negotiating business there. It is one strategy is to just be like, okay, we'll go somewhere else. We'll go somewhere else. But you can hold your nerve, and if you guys want to be the best, then you guys need to hold your nerve, and you can look good doing it using the Naruto skins here. Make sure you're heading into game. Get that
background में अगर बारिश का हो जा रहा होगा तो sorry guys.
That Ninetales Fury.
बहुत जम से बारिश आ रही है बाजू में.
Get that one developing as well, because you can get some variations on that bad boy.
Yeah, you want to be maxing that bad boy out and looking real good. As you know, Tiambas have been looking really good today. They're in 4th place, 31 points.
ये बैंड पीछे है. बारिश आ गई ना तो साला इससे.
Match was just wild. I mean, this man has been finals time to the way he started out.
मॉडल मान्या का ही लग गया उसके पीछे. अरे बैंड. यार गाइस नेट नहीं चल रहा है यार.
They are currently in 4th place right now. Looking to try and keep themselves within.
चलो यार मैं स्ट्रीम बंद कर रहा हूँ भाई. चलो भाई लोग बाय आज के लिए इतना ही. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग.